Welcome to Murano number 5. Learning from the cosmic nomad, hydrogen about the relationship. Let's continue the philosophical discussion about the change in the nature of these energy connections, emphasizing the scientific component. As discussed in the previous video, hydrogen is a particle created by complex relationships, but it still acts as a wave. Connecting more wave-like relationships to this hydrogen. In the early universe, shortly after the Big Bang, the universe was incredibly hot and dense. The universe was filled with a primordial plasma, which was a soup of subatomic wavy particles, such as protons, neutrons, and electrons, along with high-energy radiation. As the universe expanded and cooled, the high-energy radiation began to lose energy and transform into lower-energy forms, such as photons. At some point, the temperature of the universe became low enough for protons and neutrons to combine to form the first atomic nuclei, primarily hydrogen and helium nuclei, with less kinetic energy than gravity. However, these nuclei stored so much energy that they were still not stable, and high-energy radiation from space could still break them apart. It wasn't until the universe had cooled further, and the radiation had lost even more energy, that electrons could combine with nuclei to form complete atoms, primarily hydrogen atoms. Once a hydrogen atom is formed and much of the energy in the form of light is trapped by the habit and inertia of the homeostasis of matter. These countless hydrogen atoms are composed of two small energetic particles, a proton and an electron. Since protons and electrons have opposite charges, through the medium of force particles in the form of wave energy called electromagnetic force, they are attracted to each other and connected. It is a quantum chemical approach of the modern Deleuze or the previous philosophical convergence concept. Please focus on the predetermined transcendental structure found in Kant's pure reason, and the fulfillment of the conditions that are the process of mutual agreement with the object existence. Since these particles are also primordial wave-like and homeostatic particles, they combine in a way that creates a superposition of wave energy rather than direct collision as our senses perceive it. Two hydrogen atoms use the positive energy of the nucleus to cause electrons to exist as ball-like waves in three-dimensional space. Subsequently, when combined into molecules, the two electrons have two modes of existence superimposed near the two nuclei, which are large energy mixtures with strong particle nature. Either the two electrons are combined by sharing them through wave energy, or they exist separately. This superposition of energy creates a region of quantized, mathematically defined states of existence, space called a force field, around the charged particle. This force field is a type of invisible energy states that can affect other charged particles around it. Similar to what Einstein talked about with his theory of gravity. It's not bad to think of it simply as a space with an energy gradient created by Cartesian vortices of different rotational energy states. Scientists use the interchangeable concepts of potential and kinetic energy to understand how energy flows in and out of matter. In other words, matter is made up of different forms of energy, such as the internal energy that holds the particles of matter complementary or the energy that matter has due to motion. Albert Einstein discovered that matter and energy are actually interchangeable, which means that matter can be converted into energy, and vice versa. Scientists use a mathematical tool called the potential energy curve to understand how the energy within a molecule, like the Eastern key energy, flows together, relates to, and changes within a predetermined energy field of the particles. The potential energy curve shows the changes in potential energy within a substance and kinetic energy outside. Furthermore, scientists have developed a more advanced mathematical tool intuitively visualizing a three-dimensional energy surface. This shows the potential energy changes of a substance in all three dimensions inside of themselves and a way to reach the most stable energy state. This helps scientists understand the conditions and processes that change internal energy when it changes in some way due to its relationship to energy, such as light or other beings. Understanding these potential energy changes allows scientists to predict how energetic entities interact with other entities under different conditions. Cosmic hydrogen atoms form bonds with each other, and out of the two superpositions we saw, the probability is that the evolutionarily favorable energy state of the bond is more likely to be selected. Internal potential energy than when it exists alone by lowering the amount and stabilizing it. It can last a long time, of Bergson's concept. Internal potential energy than when it exists alone. It can last for a long time by lowering the amount and stabilizing it. Gibbs's thermodynamic research shows that the minimum energy state in the balance between lowering potential energy and increasing entropy is favorable for substance. Thus, when two hydrogen atoms approach each other, their electrons are also attracted to each other, and due to the low potential energy in the middle of the two positively charged hydrogen nuclei, the closer they are to the center, the more stable they feel. To understand this better, let's think of two single parents, each with a child. Children are attracted to their respective parents, but they are attracted to both parents and feel more secure and happy with both parents. The potential energy is lowered, and the entropy is increased as much as the relationship method. There were two states with superposition in the situation where the two family units joined together to form a new, larger family group, but when the child's brainwaves form constructive interference with the new parent's behavioral energy state, the union choice is established. In the same way, when two hydrogen atoms combine, they form a new group called a molecule. The wave of uncertainty will be reduced, and the behavior and personality of a more standardized and stable energy state will be expressed. After two hydrogen atoms combine to form a molecule, the resulting new energy mass called hydrogen molecules interacts with other external energy and more complex connection structures between the atoms inside. This means that there are more ways for molecules to change their energy state, similar to how a person's happiness level can change inside and outside in many ways as family members increase. When a child comes home from school and the mood around the father is terrible, the child may be more likely to choose one of the higher energy behaviors out of possible superpositioned energy states. This can result in the molecule having different physical properties, such as color, texture, and melting point. Again, the PES is a three-dimensional surface that represents the wave-particle form for the energy of a molecule as a function of its nuclear coordinates, or the positions of its atoms in space. The internal energy of the molecules of each possible geometry is calculated using quantum mechanics or molecular mechanics approaches to a level that even Kant or Hegel would accept. Once the potential energy of each starting geometry is known, optimization algorithms are used to find the most stable conformation of matter. This algorithm calculates the geometry with the lowest potential energy by slightly changing the nuclear coordinates in the PES and recalculating the internal energy at each step using the wave function. The philosophical implication of the potential energy surface is that the possible energy levels you can have as a reality are chosen by your interactions with other people, but you have already determined the possible energy levels you can have because of your interconnections. These two hydrogen atom aggregates have various behaviors as the energy mass of four particles affects each other. For example, these H2 molecules have a very weak attraction, like yin, in their relationship to attract each other, so they have a great propensity to spread out like air, like yang. Thus, this substance exhibits the same behavior as Aristotle's air. However, if you connect oxygen, one of the main elements of air, as Deleuze said, it is a completely new event that shows completely different properties that are neither hydrogen nor oxygen. We will further explore Deleuze's rhizome and its philosophical chemistry with simple hydrogen and oxygen, and the carbon that makes up life, towards the beyond. Thank you for your resonance with my thoughts. See you next week.